first off is like I'm just gonna open your match history here, and I'm actually gonna stream just so that way I can have like control of the recording and everything.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't do it this way. I have to share my actual screen so that way when I'm like drawing on stuff,
Yeah.
it shows up. So you wanted to look at this 3
That
and
one.
6 one. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of represents where things go well and wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think I did much wave management in this one, just because I was so focused on Unga Bunga, tank plus AP champ equals I lose. But
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, I think that's like part of what we'll talk about here. Is like, so I did watch some of this the other day. Just want to make this borderless so we have access to this, and we'll just kind of run through things here. So, first off, the thing that I kind of want to talk about is like, I don't know if you really need grasp.
no. Well,
I think you would be better off running
with
PTA or fleet,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
have some sort of actual kill pressure, like later on, because this isn't doing anything for you.
no.
And then you can take demolish and conditioning, or overgrowth and demolish as like your secondary tree. But like, even if I'm just gonna do this real quick, I didn't do this yesterday, but like, let's just skip to. You have 398 health and you've done 704 damage. No, you've done 398 healing and you've done 700 damage to champions, and you have 100 health gained in 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's not. I was testing it out
Yeah.
in like a whole lot of games, and I remember I didn't realize that it gave you a flat amount of health. I thought that it still gave you like a percentage of your health when
Yeah.
you gained it, so I thought it'd scale into the late game, and then it just didn't.
Yeah, which is like, even if we look at like something as simple as electrocute, like Cat's gotten like 13, almost 1400 like damage value out of her rune. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the first thing to talk about, is just like the runes. I would switch them up. It's up to you. You don't have to do anything I say.
No, it's all
just
good.
kinda like
Actually,
my-
PTA and Fleet are usually my go-to best runes. PTA is the best for all in, but whenever I'm like, I sometimes trade badly.
So
And
I would say you're not taking PTA like for lane as much as you're taking it for like later in the game. Because the truth
Exactly.
is that like, you're not gonna get on a backline squishy, and if you're gonna be trading in the front line, front to backing, putting an 8% damage like debuff and buff on like your team to their frontline like character, or regardless, whoever you hook, making them more vulnerable is probably gonna be like what's best for your team.
Exactly.
The fleet's never gonna save your life, and neither is the grasp, because like, once you're Thresh, you're in. You know what I mean? Like, you have no you have like no, you have no mobility to get out of a team fight. You have quote unquote like disengage with your flay and all.
I agree, but I also kind of disagree sometimes. So in some fights, there's two things you can do. In
I do main Thresh on support when I play support, just so you know.
Okay, yeah.
Just as a heads up, it's not like
I
I've never played the champ.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I thought you were just about to disregard queuing to like Raptors after
No.
do
Yeah,
stuff,
you can totally
or,
do
like,
that. I'm just saying,
or
like,
Ghost,
normally your
yeah.
Q is your engage, so it's gonna be on.
Exactly.
It's gonna be on cooldown. So like, there's special cases for sure.
Yeah, you just have so much move speed on when I normally play, especially with Ghost, that when you do like, you get like a double kill and you're just able to get out because you can like slow them. Being able to disengage is actually something that I think Thresh does well with this build sometimes, just because of like sometimes like, if I'm into a really losing matchup, it kind of sucks that I have to use my ulti for that, but like,
So
yeah.
we'll talk. We're just gonna like get started here for the most part. But like, first thing you notice is like, this guy showed up to lane immediately.
Yep.
They're showing up late, but when we go down
It's going to be a red side. It's going to be a new level 3 gank. That's what I was expecting. I forgot he could have done a level.
Yeah,
2,
and like,
level
I
2.
watched some of this in the beginning of the game, but the reason I'm like going down here to show this is because it's like, there's no mana missing. And that's always the key. Is like sometimes AD carries will save, but like since you're playing in like somewhat of a lower elo, they will almost always use an ability,
Yeah.
even if they don't tank the buff. Like
Wait,
so,
they use abilities?
yeah, you check their mana.
I never use abilities when I leash,
A lot
unless
of
I'm like
people do,
Ezreal.
man. A lot of people do. You would be surprised. So like
That's
sometimes
crazy.
it helps to just tab and look at that information. The first thing
Oh,
we want to look at here is so
that hurt
like
to watch.
when we're playing this lane, the question I have for you is like, where do you want to play this lane?
This lane, first of all, aside from the level 2 fight, which I do want to take, I
Okay.
want to push it, and then I know that he has better wave clear than me early, so I don't want to keep it like frozen because then he'll just crash the wave.
Okay. So
But generally I want to freeze it away from Nunu.
okay.
That's
So
what I would do.
here's the question. At level 2, because you want the level 2 fight, do you win the
Yeah,
level 2 fight?
100%.
Okay.
I do a surprising amount of damage level 2.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, so you win the level 2 fight, but here's the issue, and this is where like things get weird, very weird. Like there's the fundamentals of laning, and then there's the fact that you're trying to one trick Thresh top. Like, so playing as a Gangplank main, when Gangplank has like a terrible win rate, and
I stomp
has,
Gangplank
has
all
not
day on
been
Thresh.
meta, it's you have to adapt your playstyle around the fundamentals because your champion is not a fundamental top lane champion, right?
Yeah.
So like the issue with this wave state, as we see it, is like you're gonna get the level 2. Maybe you get like a really good trade on this guy, right? With level 2 even.
Yeah.
And we want to be careful like trading into his wave, you know, the basics. We're getting our grass procs, that's fine. We're building up a slow stacked wave, everything else. But like this is the problem here is it's like
I was so tilted that I wasn't even looking at the map. I didn't ward
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, so like the Nunu ganks you, which is like unfortunate. It sucks, right? Like there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe you could have warded, but even if you ward, you don't get out, right? Because he's gonna
Yeah.
take your movement speed. You're gonna get double CC'd, and there's nothing for you to hook to. So I would be very, very careful going for these level 2 fights as Thresh top. I would almost rather you succeed the lane, let them push into you, and then fight them here, and then play around your level 3 by tower, and lantern your jungler in, and look to like pull them into tower.
Yeah.
You have
My jungler would never do that, but
yeah,
that's
I'm just
often what
saying
I
like
end up doing.
conceptually, you have a very cheeky level 3 way
I
to play
do.
the
I
game.
do.
It's almost like being a Tom Kench. Like Tom Kench is super annoying right here because he'll trade with you and then he'll eat you and he'll just spit you out under tower.
Yep.
Right? And it's like Thresh in a way can do the same thing. You can play back and play quote unquote like weak, and then you can just take him under tower and fight him. You land a hook, you flay him into tower, and they're screwed. Even if you walk up to him and just flay him into tower range and they take a turret shot, you win the trade.
That's actually often what I do. So I have like 2 different play styles. I have like the I don't care how this game goes, I'm just gonna fight, and then I have like the oh man, I went 0-3 on lane, time to try hard, but then it's too late.
Yeah,
And then I just
it's gotta be
freeze.
try hard. It's gotta be try hard from the first minute, or
yeah,
like
I
yeah.
often used to do that, but as you can tell, the inting and that have a correlation.
yeah.
So, what I used to do is, so depending on where I thought the jungler would go, whether I thought about it before or not, I would like, it all depends on their wave clear. I really struggled to wave clear early, and if they have enough wave clear and I start freezing early, I'm screwed, because sometimes the enemy jungles will just dive me, like, I don't know. So I will often end up freezing early, like before, and then I would keep like a decent freeze, and I can use my W shield for that. And depending on how long I plan to freeze, when I had Fleet, I had access to Presence of Mind, so I was able to run that. I'm debating trying.
Well, so let's talk about this real quick. And I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to kind of do both at once. I really want to like break down the things that like we're seeing first. Because like that's the difficult thing with theory crafting is like you can theory craft and you can theory craft like for 2 hours and then it makes no difference on if you like win your games.
Exactly.
Because runes and like items don't dictate like 100% if games are won or lost, right? Especially not unless you're playing in like a much higher elo where people really abuse that stuff. So the question here is like, why didn't we freeze this?
There's just too much damage there.
So,
I didn't want to take half my health of damage for it.
which is fair. Why don't we have our W up?
I don't remember what I was doing in this play, actually. I don't remember this part.
Let's watch. So you TP back to lane, and then you decide to use your W to trade into this wave. Do you see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I forgot. Was this... Oh, this was after Nunu Gank, though.
Yeah, so like
Yeah. Oh, I used that so that the wave didn't damage me.
yeah, but
I don't know why I did that.
yeah, and you're going for a grass proc, and it's like you're in this mode of like and I like it's interesting because it's like you're playing Thresh top, which is fine, but playing Thresh top is almost like playing a Nasus top. Like you need your
Yeah,
souls
you do need to farm.
to scale. So your goal at no point in this lane, especially since you have a Doran shield, is to like kill this guy.
Oh,
if
actually, I do remember why I did this.
And if you don't have grasp, like you do it to get your grasp proc, because I saw you get it. But like,
There's two reasons actually. All lane, I was poking him a lot, not only because of the grass proc, because his passive shield, I didn't want it to be up when he traded. In this case, it doesn't matter so much because he looks like he's going to back on this wave.
yeah,
And I forgot that, but
yeah.
like,
So it's like
yeah.
it's we're thinking too short-sighted. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
thinking like in the next 10 seconds, not the next like 30 seconds. Because if we have our
Yeah.
lantern and we save it, we hold the wave here, we drop lantern, then we just drop aggro on the bush, walk out, drop aggro on the bush. Now you're gonna lose maybe like, I mean, maybe you lose like 150 health or whatever it is like off of this,
Yeah.
right? But the truth is that this guy can't dive you, right?
No.
And right now, what's gonna happen if we take fog off?
And even if he does use his mana on wave clear, that means he can't use it on pokes. So
Exactly,
that's
right?
Still a one trade to me.
It's still one, exactly. So now what happens is this
Oh,
guy
I
doesn't
that.
have to use his TP.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to use his TP, right? So now you're down a some advantage as well because you're giving him the lane kind of. Now here's like where it gets difficult is like you're building a slow push. I like this.
Oh, and now he comes back and he just gets all the minions for free.
Yep. Right.
So then
like,
I
you're
was
building
like,
this-
well, I messed up, and now I need to bully him to compensate, and then Nunu came.
Yep, and the thing is you don't need to bully him. What you need to be doing is you need to be playing back into your wave, and you need to be playing. So like, there's two things going on here. First off is that like we know that we're shoving, right? We don't
Yep.
have a choice because our wave is shoving, right? So like right here, we drop down and we ward this.
Yeah.
Because this wave is about to come out here, so we need to ward preemptively. Like maybe you miss 1 or 2 CS for it. Like obviously we don't want to miss cannon, but like
Yeah.
as soon as you get cannon here,
Just
like,
go down
like,
and
you
ward
should
it.
just go down
Yeah.
and ward, right? Like we're walking all the way up, and on top of that, like
What's
the other
that map
thing is
book?
we're playing too far up, and this is
Yeah.
this. I know exactly why you're doing this,
Yep. Yep.
and it's this.
Not only that, I was just
And the shield.
incredibly tilted.
You're like you're tunneling on like I have to kill this guy, and it's like you're Thresh top.
Exactly.
You're
I'm
Thresh
tunneling.
top.
I'm tunneling on the 1v1.
You have no kill pressure. You have to start if you're gonna play Thresh top. You have to start playing this lane to survive, not to win. To survive. Get as much
what I
CS,
do.
get as much souls as possible. Get your Tiamat, and then once you have wave clear and damage, especially if you're running press the attack, then you can start looking for short CC trades with that Tiamat, press the attack, and you can start like bullying. But otherwise, play to your advantage, right? Like, yes, Nunu probably still ganks you here. But if Nunu and Malphite try to fight you in this wave, there's actually a potential that you go 1 for 1. It's not like super likely, but it like I mean this guy's level 3. If he ended up taking all of the aggro for that because he hit you with snowball first and Malphite hasn't come in and you have everything up, like there's I mean actually 100% yeah, you could have killed Nunu if you
He's
fought
level
in the
3,
wave.
never mind. I forgot this fight was like when they were level 4. I forgot I had a level advantage here. I think I don't remember whether I thought about this, but my thinking probably went, if they hit their W and CC and area spells on the minion wave, then they'll clear it, so I need to be like slightly outside of it and then walk to it.
Never be outside of your wave when you're playing a champion like Thresh. Because the thing is like, the only time I would say like, okay, be outside your wave is if I'm somebody where like I want an isolated fight, like a Mordekaiser. Like I don't want the minions around me. I want isolated damage. You don't do damage.
No, not yet. And also the funny thing is, I looked at this lane and I went, I tried Wit's End before, it doesn't work very well as a first item. Hollow Radiance works better as a first item, and I tried this game and it actually worked really well. And then I went, I'm going to buy an item to do nothing but survive lane. Fight, fight, fight. And then it still, if Nunu hadn't come, the fight, fight, fight wouldn't have even been punished, which is hilarious. Because I did nothing but fight, and it still worked out with nothing but tank items. I had no book damage, no nothing.
That, like, had you not fought, think about
it would have been much better.
How much easier the game would have been, and how much you would have like not died and everything.
And if I had poked him the same amount, even like taking out the factor of enemy tilt and trying to poke you and getting hooked,
so
then
here,
like,
let's talk about a like concept for just like Thresh in general.
Yeah.
And it's like it's around like your lantern usage a little bit. Like I see what you're doing, but the thing is like when we look at this Vi, she has flash. She has her Q up. She doesn't need a lantern.
My thinking was I could get her there faster,
like,
maybe.
21-second cooldown. You have to be a lot more conservative with how you use this.
Okay, I know. I spam it for shields and fights often, and if there's not someone that needs to get in or out, then I don't throw it too much.
Well, here's the thing is that, like, so, let's talk about, like, how this plays out. And maybe Vi doesn't. Maybe Vi doesn't. Maybe Vi's, like, just not that good of a player. But if your lantern's up here, this is diveable.
100%.
Right? Like, she has flash, she could flash Q, kill this guy, and then you could lantern her out. But this happened. Right? So it's like we have to be really critical about like, did we make the right decision supporting the gank? Yes, we did. Was our execution perfect though? No, it wasn't, right? So then we can like when we're in the review process, we can say like, okay, there's where the room for improvement is. You know.
I kind of want to check something. Go back. When I like missed that Q, I thought that I was in the river, and so I threw it a little bit above him. Is that not?
No,
is that where I am? Not
I
in the
mean,
river?
like you missed a skill shot. It's okay.
No. But I mean, like when I throw it here, is that not like going to hit him from the river?
I think the reason you make a mistake here, if you want my honest opinion, is you don't throw it at him when he's CC'd.
Yeah. Sorry. I think I forgot to buffer it because I was waiting for the Vi Q, so I didn't stun them twice.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing though, is that like there's nothing. It's better to layer CC and guarantee it and like lose some of the value than wait for the perfect window and like miss it.
Yeah, I was testing it out here because normally that's what I do by myself. I would immediately like EQ if it was just by myself in a fight versus him.
It's very close. It's very close.
There is upsides and downsides with Thresh Q in a 1v1. The only way you can really use it, how do I put it? So when you have Thresh Q, it's sort of like you buy yourself time. Anyway, I'll tell you later.
Here's what we need to look at here, right? Is like, okay, so we get a good gank off. Why are we not proxying this wave?
Right, I forgot I don't proxy often enough.
You know what I mean? Like, just walk up, get your demolish stack, hold the wave here, start Eing it and Qing it, at least clear the melee minions. Because what happens is, if you clear the melee minions, when this incoming wave comes in, it's not going to aggro here. It's going to aggro here to these.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
get to double stack crash that wave, and then your reset is set up, and he's gonna miss all of that XP, right? But instead, you see what I'm saying? Now it's stuck out here, and you're in this awkward spot where it's like, oh, I gotta crash it, but now I can't crash it and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
It's funny you mentioned that because recently I was thinking like I'm prioritizing ranged minions a little more than I should because my math is like, oh, one depending on how many souls you have or levels, you can use like one Tiamat proc plus E to clear the entire back line and do some damage to the front line instead of like just focusing on the front line first. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay, so let's just talk conceptually here. This guy's level 6. You're level 6. You have Ghost up.
Yep.
He has TP up. He should have used TP more in this matchup, and he would actually be like way ahead of you, but he's not. He's like
He could bully me in this lane. Plus he went Comet.
Yeah, he's doing the really silly thing where people like save their TP indefinitely rather than just like using it. But we're like 0-3, and we've like pretty much lost lane. So like,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, you got ganked a lot, but like I think we've done a good job looking at like how the wave management could have been better and like other things could have been better, right?
And
you're
they were like the most predictable ganks of all time.
Yeah, and, like-
it's a Nunu
And
with
that's
the
the-
classic level 2 cheese at 230.
Yeah, and like even if it's not predictable, like let's watch this, right? Like, so we're doing stuff, like we're just running at him, we're just beating him up.
Yeah.
Tell me honest right now.
Yes.
If Nunu's not here, can you kill this guy?
No. He has
No.
ulti, but he didn't use his ulti to get the percent pen early.
And he has
So-
flash, and you're running
Yeah.
Ghost, right?
And
he's playing
and I
towards
wasn't
his
and
tower.
and then the worst part is if you go back a little bit, just to when I started fighting him.
Sure.
Here, I want to show you something. So if I was actually trying to 1v1 him, and I wasn't like playing just a soft tilt, I would have kited him. Like here I'm kiting him a little bit, and I went straight melee range with him. You don't go melee range with most top laners.
Yeah.
And
100%.
and you play around your minion wave. The whole point of Thresh top is like the minion wave is your friend.
Okay.
Because
I totally
the Q,
agree. I totally agree. We said that earlier.
So the things that real quick, the things that counter Thresh the most are percent health damage, AP damage. I'll tell you about that in a sec.
Well, because
True
he doesn't
damage.
stack armor with his passive. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No, I get it. I know.
But not only that, he back in the day they nerfed it so that he didn't get it from leveling up either, and the only reason he gets any at all is because of durability patch. So technically, if before durability patch, his level 1 MR would be his level 18 MR.
Yep.
But yeah, I looked at this lane and I struggle into tanks early because of the items I build. And he's an AP champ that pokes and wins trades. I should probably lose this matchup, and then I just went fight.
Okay. So like,
yeah.
yeah, that's fight is not what you do in a losing match.
No,
It's
no.
definitely. I had
think-
this conversation with someone the other day where they were like, "What happens when you get super hard countered?" And it's like you try to minimize your losses. You get
Exactly.
as much CS as you can. You try not to die. You try not to get ganked, and you just play super safe.
I think I just saw how this guy played, and I was like, damn, this guy should be a hard counter, but he's playing so incredibly bad that I still think I could win. And I still look back at this
He's
and I
2
think
and
that I
0.
could.
You're 0
not
and 4.
here. Not here, but I mean like, if we were from an even standpoint, considering this guy's champ should counter me, I still think I bully him every day of the week just because
Yeah.
of how he played.
And this is something that, so there's two things here. Two things. One is that, and I literally had this exact conversation with somebody yesterday who was in Silver, and we were talking about it. And I was like, you're playing so confident and so aggressive, he doesn't have room to make a mistake. You're taking every single opportunity for him to make a big mistake away from him because you're trashing him, which like it
Yeah.
feels good to trash this guy, but you're losing for it because you're not being patient at all, right?
Yeah.
And your Vi is losing for it because you're not being patient at all. Let them breathe. Let him shove up the tower and try and dive you so you can kill him. Let him control the wave so you give him opportunities to get ganked, right? Like, allow
Yep.
him to make a mistake. you're not letting him make a mistake. Your jungler's on her way top, and you're taking such a heavy trade that this guy's gonna leave.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
I say this a lot when I'm like talking to people and they're playing in lower elo. It's like, don't look at your opponents. And I made this mistake a lot when I was climbing through Emerald, where I was like, this person's just bad. And it's like, you don't know if they're bad or if they're baiting you. For all you know,
and this game, that would have been
everything this guy has done, for all you know, right? Like, we don't know this guy personally. Everything this guy has done has been intentionally calculated to get you ganked.
For the Nunu, yeah.
For all you know, he's been outsmarting you this whole game. So you can't look at this guy and be like, oh he's
no,
bad.
I actually remember this. We saw the Nunu bot side and I went, oh, I all in here. And then I didn't even look at where my jungler was though.
And then it would be fine.
We did see the Nunu, and that's why I did that.
He didn't have like ult and TP and everything else.
And flash, and yeah.
And now, you're
Yep. That's the issue with this build. Grasp doesn't allow me to go Presence of Mind, and I've been testing it, and it feels nice when you get the Grasp proc, but it just doesn't scale.
I think Press the Attack and Presence of Mind is better. Now, your Vi sets up a dive here, which is very nice, and you get the kill and everything. But this could have been a lot easier, right?
That could have, yeah.
Right?
I think I crashed. I did see the Vi after the big trade, and I saw that, and I was like, well, if she wants to dive, and knowing most of the junglers I've seen, they just don't like to wait for a minion wave, so I went and I got the minion wave and shoved it as fast as I could so we could dive.
That's good. You get vision down, you hold this wave, that's fine. Okay, so we need to make a decision on what we're doing here.
Yeah, I was trying to make a decision whether I wanted to freeze or not. Well, and then check my items. Where are my items right now? I need to know.
Yep. You have these.
Okay, I saw I forgot. I think I had the Sunfire or the Hollow Radiance component. What is it called?
Sunfire.
Yeah,
Spectral
Cow. No, the Balmy Cinder. Thank you.
Balmy Cinder.
The Balmy Cinder. I think I saw that and I went, this is gonna be tough to freeze and like hover here.
You can still freeze this. The trick is, so I'll tell you what the trick is. First off, we don't auto this guy. We don't auto this guy.
Yeah, and I was just gonna run it in and out of the bush.
Yeah, so a cannon minion pretty much counts as like 2 casters worth of like damage. So technically here you have like 5 casters. You only need 4 to freeze in this position, and then you just play. Yeah, you play in and out of the bush, and then your Balmy Cinder won't be close enough to where like it'll kill the minions. But you keep autoing is the issue.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like
I think I saw that the Malphite was gone, and I thought that he backed, and I was like, well, I could freeze to punish him here, but I also could not, and I think I was just so tilted that I decided to push.
Yeah, and like, so when we're looking at this and we're thinking about it, and it's like, okay, so we make a decision to freeze, then freeze. Don't like be like, I'm gonna freeze. I'm not gonna freeze. I don't know where he is. I do know where he is, because here's what happens.
Exactly.
Like,
that happened a lot.
I was going with someone. I was talking with someone the other day, and this is pretty much how it happens. Is it's like we have our decision, we have our execution, and we have our result. If the decision is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different decisions or whatever, and then the execution's this way and this way and this way and then that way, and then we get a result and the result's bad, what's the problem here? We don't know.
GG jungle diff.
Right, yeah, GG jungle diff, right? Like, we don't know, right? Yeah. And that's the issue. But like, if we do it again and we say like, okay, I am going to freeze this wave. I'm going to execute a freeze. The result was bad. Okay, well, we now know that either the decision was the problem or the execution was the problem, and we can actually analyze and get better. But when like it's better to make a bad decision and stick to it so we can learn from it than it is to make like back and forth decisions. I'd rather see someone dive like 70 times and be like, you know what, I know how to dive and when to dive perfectly now, than like try to dive and then run away and then flash and then go back in, and it's like, because then you don't know you don't know if it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking away your learning opportunities in a way.
I've been having that a lot recently.
Yeah, and it's very common. Like, I think a lot of people make the mistake of looking at League of Legends and they think that this is like a very heavy fighting game, and it can be, but really what League of Legends is a strategy game, right? Like if you make all of the perfect decisions in perfect execution in the first 15 minutes of the game, no one can fight you for the next 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I want you to go back like 15 seconds.
Okay. What's up?
Look at that minion wave. So go back a little bit more.
Okay.
15 more seconds. So remember how I was like, I'm gonna freeze it, I'm gonna push it. Where's that pushing right now? I'm like at like the slowest pushing you've ever seen, and now I'm like
and
slow pushing, and he's gonna get free minions.
And that's exactly what we were like talking about. And maybe like what you were thinking is like, oh, I'm gonna build a slow.
No, it was the decision making of like I'm gonna freeze, and I'm like, what the hell? I just thought of the minions. Oh well, I guess I'm gonna salvage it by trying to slow push. Why am I slow pushing? You're just gonna get free minions. Shoot, I'm gonna go help them. That was literally my decision making. Then it was terrible.
Yep. Okay, so we go down here. I like
But I
this
still have
because
my
the wave is
utility and my
crashed,
tankiness.
and you
Yep,
don't
that's why I did
roam
that.
before the wave is crashed, which is really
No.
good.
That's my main thing. I do that everywhere, all the time, regardless of how tilted I am.
That's
I don't
really
leave
good.
without wave crash.
That's really good, and this ends up like working out. It's a fairly decent play. And now we should go up here and we should crash this wave.
I will say, when I play ADC and I don't have the wave clear, I tend to get into that mindset, and it's worse. It ends up going a lot worse.
Okay,
When I
so-
have to, like I'll crash my wave before a drag fight, and then drag fight's over. And then I'm like, well, where's your ADC, you know?
It's not your job to
Okay.
go to drag fight as the ADC. It's on the support.
No, I tell them, and I'm like, well, support, go to drag fight. And they're like, no, ADC come. And I'm like, well...
Yeah, you're gonna have a ton of
Sometimes
people...
it's just better. Sometimes it's better to just go, even if it is the
Yeah.
wrong play.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
no, I disagree. So
Very
here's-
rarely.
Yeah, like here's my concept. Okay, if I make all the right decisions in like bronze, let's say that my jungler wants to fight void grubs in a 1v2 without priority, and I crash a giant wave top and I
And
get
no
a play,
vision anywhere.
and they give my top laner a kill here. At the
Yep.
end of the day, I will climb in my next 10 games because I made the right decision. If you make decisions that are bad to support bad players, you become a bad player.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
how Smurfs smurf, right? Like, Smurfs go into low elo, and people hate them. They're pinging the crap out of them. They're like, this guy never comes to a fight. This guy's ignoring me. This guy's not helping with the invades. This guy's...
Oh, yeah.
And then you fast forward to 28 minutes, and the Smurf is 6-0 with a 100 CS lead, stomping the map because they ignored all the
Yeah.
stupidity. Right?
That's
Like,
fair.
so, I don't completely disagree, but, like, be very careful. Be very
Yeah.
careful, like, making decisions
I
based
have the
off your
same.
teammates.
I think it's more like sometimes I'm too passive when I play ADC, and I will like not.
Mhm.
I will push a wave, but then I won't rotate at the right time.
Yeah, that's
my
a-
back. I don't think I got to show you as much this game because I died so much. But my back timers are probably one of, if not my biggest issue.
So, the simple trick to back timers is, it's all about tempo. So, if, like...
I don't understand tempo too well, but as far as I know, it's how much pressure you have so you can get somewhere faster. Like, if I'm
yes and no. Tempo is whoever can get to what they want to do faster. So if everybody's going to
that's what I
Baron,
understand.
whoever gets to Baron first has tempo. Okay?
Okay.
So tempo is about getting to lane first, because if you get to lane first, you get to manipulate the waves. You get to control the wave state. And if you
And-
get to lane first, you get the XP and you get the gold. So, like, if we watch this, right here, like, let's watch what happens here. So
I didn't think
We-
there was much more I could do.
auto this, I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Okay, so like this would be a perfect example of like what's a good reset. We're fast pushing.
It's a
this,
cannon
so this guy
wave.
misses
It's
cannon
slow pushing
wave.
back my
right?
way. I could stop it
Now,
into a freeze.
now watch. This is exactly what we do. We auto this. We auto it. We walk away, and we start backing right here, right now.
It's in vision too.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Nunu's bot. Malphite doesn't have TP. He already used it, and he just died. So he's walking back to lane. It's gonna take him 20 seconds to get here. Well, 20 seconds to get here,
That's
right?
gonna
It's gonna take you
like
8
40.
seconds to recall. And the thing is these minions aren't gonna stop your recall because they're gonna aggro here first, so you're safe from that. These minions will finish this plate for you, and you save yourself 7 seconds worth of time.
Right, I was thinking about that, and then I think it was earlier this game, I left the plate at like 1 HP, and I was like
Right? So
traumatized
it's
from
like
that, so I
one,
didn't
two,
back.
three, four,
Yeah.
five, six,
Oh, I don't
seven,
remember this. I really thought I
8,
backed there.
9, 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
right? And like now we're backing. And
Yeah, this is exactly what happens with my back timings.
let's watch. Let's see how much you miss here.
Probably like 8 minions. Yeah,
You
about that.
miss almost you miss like 4 minions worth of XP and gold. Even more because he gets to like get it in the tower. But if you get back here
Yeah.
just as fast, you have the same amount of gold, you have the same buy, and you can stop the wave here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
And then now I still have a level lead, and I
Mhm.
have a Mar, and honestly,
You could
if
have
we
fought
both
him.
have the same minion, yeah, I could have fought him.
You could have
I
fought him.
think I was now in the mindset of like I lose. Meanwhile, I just got my item, like I now win instead.
Okay. So
I don't think at any point this game I was like I lose.
yeah, throwing this to check a bush, I don't like that.
No, I don't remember why I threw that. I think did I misclick? I don't think
You
that's
may
ever
have.
something.
That's okay. We're just talking about it though, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
okay, we got his flash. That's great. We're setting up a dive. This is great. I love this. Great.
yeah.
We
Team
got the
tower.
tower. That's great. We shove the wave. That's great. Okay. So we're at 15 minutes. We're
Yeah.
see like I look at this fight and I'm like they don't need you. I would keep pushing
No,
this.
they don't need me. That's what I thought.
Right.
I have a big
Well,
minion.
I guess actually
Oh
Trist
shit.
is there.
Then I saw more people and I was like, hold up, I need to come.
Yeah, they get to Rift, whatever, yada yada. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes into this game. I don't like
Yep.
doing more than 15 minutes in like VOD reviews to start because there's so
Yep.
much information just within laning phase.
But
that,
15 minutes is where this game started getting good for me. So
yeah, but like think about how much better it would have been if it started off good, right?
exactly.
You know, like you're 60 CS up, which in and of itself is like a very big
It's
win.
kind of crazy considering I
Yeah,
was playing
but
like
like
garbage and missing
if
minions
we're
left and
not
right.
if we're not 1-4 and we're like 1-1 and we have an extra 2 level lead and we have this like now this becomes a like actually disgusting because you'd probably have
Exactly.
you could have gotten Hollow Radiance and you might have enough gold and XP to get like Hullbreaker at this point
Like
and you'd really
Tiamat,
be like
Hullbreaker, yeah.
cracking
Tiamat,
open, you know, the map. So
yeah.
conceptually, I see three things going on right now. Like, so the first thing being when we look at stuff is like we're not thinking when we're playing. Like we're
We're
thinking,
thinking about the wrong things.
but we're not. And then like when we think, we don't commit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's got to be a level of commitment with the decisions we're making. Like if you're going to say, "Hey, I think this is the right call," then commit to it and do it. And then and then from there you can tell if it works or doesn't work, right? And then you
Yep.
can start improving how you play Thresh top. If this is what you want to do and this is what you want to one trick, you've got to like commit to doing it because if you don't nail down the fundamentals to where they're absolutely perfect, you won't be able to like actually play this in ranked or in norms. Because what's going to happen
Yeah.
is there are other champions top lane, like Garen, like Darius, like Rumble, like Scion or Mundo, who don't have to have perfect fundamentals because of the way the champion functions. They
Yeah.
are allowed to make mistakes. You, unfortunately, if this is what you really want to play, you don't get to make mistakes.
No.
Like you have to be so good at your fundamental execution because you're playing an off meta pick, and that's okay. If it's what you want to do, do it. I fully support it, you know. But like we've got to be really tied into this if this is like what you want to do.
Yeah, that's actually what sometimes happens to me. Whenever I like think about stuff in the correct way, it generally starts from me thinking about my minion waves, and then it just snowballs from me thinking about minion waves to watching the map and then everything else, and then I just kind of win.
Hmm.
It just feels like a
That's
free
good.
win. But then,
Now,
but that's not what happens the majority of the time.
now what I'll say is the other thing to look at is so we need to be so there is no balance between passive and aggressive. And what I mean by
No,
that, when we look at
it's one
like
or the other.
kind of playing, yeah, it's all in or all out, right? Like
Yeah.
when you take a trade all the way into the enemy wave. And when you like decide
Yep.
that you're not gonna like trade, you completely like almost run away. And that's okay, but like what I really want to push down with this is it's like we need to be okay being passive for 5 minutes or 6 minutes so that we get our items and our wave clear and our souls so that we can be aggressive at 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? No
Yeah.
one is blowing up the Nexus in the first 10 minutes of the game, right? Like if you're 10 CS down, or if even if you're 20 CS down, right? But you're playing Thresh and you're getting souls because of the value from your soul stacking and the armor it gives you, you're pretty much even.
Yeah.
But if you give up 3 kills because you're over aggressive, right? And you're at a 900k or 900 gold disadvantage, it's a bigger problem, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if and like know what you want to do. Like if you want to play aggressive and you're like, man, I don't want to play slow. I don't want to play tactful. I don't want to play strategic today. I just want to stomp people. Play Darius.
Yeah, that's how that usually goes.
Play Darius, right? And like if you're like, I'm feeling good, I'm relaxed, I kind of want to like think it out, I want to be strategic, I want to like style on some people and like really be intelligent and like kind of, enjoy the ride of like whatever game I get put in. Play Thresh, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to be passive in the first like 6 minutes of the game with this champion. You don't have to completely give up the lane, but if you keep the lane like here even for like 4 minutes and nobody gets a crash, that's okay. Like if you guys hit level 2 at the same time here, that's okay. You hit level 3 at the same time here, that's okay. Don't try to overforce, pretty much.
Yeah, I tend to do that a lot, and even more so when I'm tilted. When I get tilted, it's not based on what's going on in the game. It's generally I get tilted before I even get on.
Okay,
So
that's
it's not good.
number 3. Because you've said it a
Yeah.
lot while we've been
Yeah.
like talking and stuff, and that would be like the third thing for you to work on is like tilt. And it's like, okay, that's very generic. Like how do we work on tilt? How do we do that? How do we do this? I like climbing through Emerald, I got super tilted. I still get super tilted sometimes when I play. And like I try to make a good point to upload videos where like I'm not always on my best behavior. Like sometimes I get angry and I cuss and I'm like super annoyed, and like I put those on the YouTube channel because I'm human and I want people to know that like everybody deals with this problem. But the thing that like you have to remember is that like this is a game. It's just a game. And if anything, League is like what the best thing you can do in League is not win. It's not about winning. Like the more you focus
Yeah.
on this, the more you focus on this, the more you end up over here, and the more this becomes more and more and more relevant, right?
I think that's why I played Thresh this game is because I used to care more about winning, and so I'd play like champs, more specific to like just being meta.
Well, and I'm
But
not even
then
talking
but then
about
I found Thresh and I had so much fun playing him that I decided like it doesn't matter whether I win
yeah.
or lose on this champ.
And
I
I'm
just
not
have
even
fun
talking about
regardless.
the Nexus. This
Yeah.
extends to lane too. Right?
Oh yeah, I
Because
never
like
thought about that.
you
though.
may have picked Thresh because you were like, I don't care if I win this game.
Exactly.
But you for sure got tilted up here when you got ganked 3 times.
Yes, 100%.
Right? Because you were like, well, I'm not winning the game, but now I'm not winning lane, and I'm irritated. And it's like, it's not about winning. It's not about
Exactly.
winning lane. It's not about winning the game. It is about the biggest thing that will take you to tilting is like, I need to win. And the biggest thing that will take you away from this is a mentality where you're looking to learn. Like, where you're just looking to improve. You're just looking to learn. You're just looking to get better. You're looking to find new strategies. You're looking to practice new strategies. You're looking to learn fundamentals, implement good trading, implement cooldown management, implement resource management. And the more you learn, it's really weird. The more you learn, the more relaxed you get. And the more relaxed you get, the more you learn. And then the more enjoyable the game is.